I'm making realizations about myself. I have started a new endeavor, and it has opened my eyes. Not in a way that would be like helpful for me in my life or even helpful for other people, but you know, it's cool to know new things. Anyway, welcome to a new vlog in which I got a subscription to Audible Plus, which comes with the catalog of free things. I have it for 3 months, and my goal is to read as many random smutty romances as I can fit in my time and psyche. I have gone through the Plus catalog a little bit, and I picked a handful of books that I have absolutely never heard of before, but were free for me with my subscription. I don't know anything about them. I picked them based off their cover. My first book, I believe, is called Nero by an author whose name I don't know, but I will pop up the picture here of the cover. I don't know what it's about, but my realization, as I mentioned previously, is that I'm okay if the main characters are little freaks, as long as everyone around them is normal. Like, I'm reading this book, I'm very little in, and the main guy is a freak. He's a weird guy. He's just a weird guy. Not in a way that's bothering me. Just, you know, just like with the possessiveness over someone he literally doesn't know, the obsession, all that. Absolute little freak. And the girl, she's into it. Little freak. But his friend is acting normal in a way of like, oh, ha ha ha, he's being a little freak. And that's my threshold. If other people in the book are acknowledging that what the main people are doing is odd, then I can be okay with however odd things are. Like the Captain Hook book that I just read, Hooked, atrocious. Everyone was weird. No one acted normal. That's one of my things. Is like, I hate when people don't act normal in books. Like, it's not a person I could see myself running into. This one seems like it's going to be a little bit of a freak book, and that's what I'm hoping for. I want to read stuff that I don't normally read with like super intense protagonists, because I think that that's fun a lot of the time. So I'm not ragging on this book. I'm barely into it, but I'm not used to this kind of dark romance, like very contemporary. There's no magic or anything. So I'm going to see how I like it. It's very long, which almost deterred me. I think it's like over 12 hours, but you know, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to enjoy it. At the very least, I just want to read something a little different. I just came off like the Iliad, so I want something fun, and I'm hoping this is fun. And I'm apologizing formally to the author for not knowing your name. I think it's SJ something. But anyway, I'm going to dive back in, and I'm going to pop in when I have some opinions. Okay, the little freak's being a little freak, and I wanted to pop in. Okay, so it starts with this girl's in her apartment. I'm eating an Oreo, I'm sorry. She's in her apartment, just watching horror movies. And this guy just like shows up. He shows up like on her balcony or something, in a suit, disheveled. And she's like, what? And he hangs out with her for a bit. And it's like insinuated that he was running from some nefarious act, and he's like hiding out, and he just popped into her apartment by random. So they like hang out silently for a little while. And he immediately becomes obsessed with her and takes off. And he's like, I have to find her. So he has his friend become like an expert on her and like research her family and stuff. And the friend's like, you're being a little freak. And so they go to the coffee shop she works at, and the guy goes, you got to go in and like talk to her or whatever. And he's like, okay. And he goes into the coffee shop, and the friend's like, what's your favorite coffee? And she's like, this coffee. And he's like, okay, well, give me one of those. It's a funny prank to give his obsessive little freak friend something sweet, because he likes plain coffee. So he goes back in the car, and he's like, did you get a picture of her? And the guy's like, what do you mean, you little freak? No, I didn't get a picture of a person I don't know. Funny. Actually funny. And what's important, I want to point out, it's funny on purpose. Sometimes these books are funny, not on purpose. This one's funny on purpose, which I was hoping for, because it says that in the tags of this book. So yeah, anyway, he didn't get a picture of her because he's not a little freak. And so he gives the guy the sugary coffee, and he drinks. He's like, what are you doing, you idiot? This isn't plain coffee. You're being stupid. And he's like, I just thought you'd like the favorite drink of the girl you like. And he's just like, okay. And then he straight up drinks it because it's her favorite drink. And that's the kind of corny stuff I do like. So kudos, absolutely a banger. This little freak is a lot of fun so far. this was going really well, and it, for me, tanked immediately. I'm less than a quarter in. They haven't really spoken at all, other than like the initial meeting where he showed up, and they really didn't talk or anything. They just kind of quietly sat on the couch until he left. And then, so she wants him to come back, so she like leaves her door open in hopes that he just magically appears like Batman, and he did. And now they're having sex, and he didn't even say his name to her before he was like about to be inside of her. She's a virgin, by the way, so do with that what you will. But I'm disappointed because this is so soon in for them to already be sleeping together, which tells me, because it's a 12-hour book, so my worry was it would really drag out. And now I'm even more worried because I just started this and they're already having sex, so it makes me think that most of this book is just going to be them continuously having sex with probably very little plot. And now, like, all the tension's gone for me because they slept together already. They don't know each other at all. Like, they really don't. They have never had a conversation. And that happened in Dark Lover, too, by J.R. Ward. But at least that one was better. I don't know. I'm just disappointed because I was hoping they were going to sleep together this soon. And then they did. I thought maybe they'll just kiss a little bit and then they'll get interrupted. So we'll have to wait a little bit because the tension's fun for me. And that didn't happen. So I don't know. I think I got like 9 or 10 hours left on this book. They've already slept together, but I guess, they haven't had a conversation yet. So maybe that will be what happens next. I haven't thought about this part. So he put it in, immediately figured out she was a virgin, pulled it out to question her. And she's like, yeah, I haven't done it before. And he's like, why would she give such an honor to me? And then he, no joke, with his fingers wipes her blood off of him and then licks it off his fingers. And then continues having sex with her. And then while he's having sex with her, kisses her. And she says that's her first kiss. So she lost her virginity before she even got kissed. And I don't want to laugh, but oh my God, that's so bad. This has been a roller coaster. My initial intention was to, because I have so many books on this list, mostly read them and then kind of give like a little review at the end. But I'm ending up doing a lot of clips for this one book, so I'm thinking I might just break this up into several videos. But okay, so Nero's at Peyton's familial home to kill her stepdad because she was abused. He only knows that because he looked into her medical records and stuff. She said it in her narrative. She hasn't said exactly what happened, just that her stepdad was awful and it made her not have a relationship with her mom anymore. So she didn't tell the love interest this. He just found it out. And without saying anything to her, obviously, he's going to go kill this guy. And I'm frustrated again because it's just like he's had all of one real interaction with her, which was him taking her virginity. He cuddled her, and then I think he left the next day to go kill this guy. With like the insinuation to her that he's never going to see her again. So the fact that, I don't know, if they had talked a little bit more throughout like several meetings and she had mentioned to him what happened to her, like she had told him and then he went and did this, I think it would be better for me. But I hate that she didn't tell him any of this. So like she's just going to get the word that her stepfather died and there's not like a buildup of him or her opening up to Nero and telling him about her past or anything. He's just taking it upon himself. And it's like, so you're already going to wrap up this introduced thing, this thing about her, this huge thing. She ran away for when she was 17 because she was abused. So within the first quarter of this book, we're going to wrap up. They're finally sleeping together, and the thing with her stepfather. So basically it's all that's going to be left is her feelings, and because the resolution is going to happen before her feelings are expressed even to the love interest. And I think that's a mistake. I don't think it should have been done like this. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be interesting, but it's just like, I guess I'll say me. I would have been more satisfied if he was getting to know her and was learning about her and what happened and getting this information, and we're seeing in his head him getting this information about how awful this man was. But basically what's going to happen is he's going to find out after the guy's already dead. And who knows, maybe there's a twist and this is the wrong guy or whatever, but I don't know. So Nero is like a mafia guy. So he's killed like a ton of people. So it's nothing for him, and that's fine and stuff. It's dark romance. I know what I'm getting into. I'm just not happy with the order in which things are happening. I wanted more slow burn. Maybe I need to look for slow burn, because I just wanted some tension. The tension's all gone, and now the thing with her being abused is going to be gone. So like, what the hell is the rest of this book going to be? So now that I'm nearing the end of this book, Nero by S.J. Tilley, by the way, I have obviously gathered what the plot is, and it's just like a mafia romance. Nero is the head of a little mafia thing, and he's got his underlings, which all get their own books. And that's the whole plot. Like, not a lot happened in it. Overall, the book is pretty unsatisfying because there's no tension. He's obsessed with her immediately. And you get both their POVs, so you know instantly he's really serious about her, and he's just not going to let her go, and she's all into him, and they sleep together immediately, so there's just zero tension when it comes to their relationship at all. The tension, I think, is supposed to come from the fact that them being together puts her in danger, but she hasn't been in any danger so far, so it's just them doing various sex things in different places. And he killed her stepdad before he even found out the extent of what he did, which was when she was 17, he was going to sell her virginity to some people, so she ran away. And that's it. We don't really get into much more of it. I still have some left, but I just don't really see it fixing the problems that I had with the rest of the book. I kind of want to read the second one because I like the character who's going to be the POV in that, so I might check on it. That one's not at Audible, so I'd have to buy it or find it at the library. It's not a bad book. It's just kind of, again, unsatisfying, so I don't feel like this has been a waste of time. I wish I'd enjoyed it more, because I don't mind the dynamic of, like, immediately obsessed, but it has to be fun. And I'll say one thing it does, so I just read that Hooked book. I talked about it in another video. I don't know what order these are going to come out in. This, two things. It did the exact same thing as the other one did, which was there was a girl who was a little bit mean, and she had slept with the love interest, so she died. Oh, no, she dies in Hooked. And this one, she didn't die. He had all of her hair cut off because she's so shallow and awful, so he, like, mutilated her a little bit, which I didn't love. And then on the other thing is Hook had him physically violent with her, and that really bothered me. And this one, he's just physically violent to other people and not ever her. And he's super opposed to ever hurting her, which I do appreciate. But I'm going to finish the book, and then I'll do a little wrap up once I'm done with the whole thing. I am not thinking I'm going to have any real additional thoughts, but we'll see. Done. I want to start by saying there's a weird amount of coincidences between this book and Hooked. So both books had a necklace that the guy gave her with a tracker in it. The girl that had slept with him that was mean, he did end up killing her, which is similar. And also similar is that she was in on the final kidnapping. I guess, yeah, both had a kidnapping. She was in on it in both books, and she died in both books. And in both books, our protagonist, who one of her defining features is that she's, like, innocent and stuff, kills someone. In this book, Peyton shoots a guy. She shoots him. And in Hooked, she shoots her dad and Tinkerbell. And it's baffling. There's just a weird amount of similarities between them. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the only other movie I've seen is Boss Baby Situation. I don't know. Hooked might have just traumatized me. But yeah, so the end was just, she got kidnapped by a threat that, like, didn't really get mentioned throughout the book, so it came out of left field. Very quick little end. They came to get her. They shot up the house. Hail, gunfire. They grabbed her. Everything's fine. And that's it. I want to point out one thing I think is really weird in this book. They had like no oral in it. And it's going to sound weird that I pointed that out, but I've read a lot of romance books, and especially ones written by women. They tend to focus on that. Mostly the guy with the girl, but also sometimes the girl with the guy, because people are into that. But it's just odd that there was like virtually none in this. The first scene, or the only scene with that, with him going down on her, was like at the very end. He did it, and it was so quick. And then I swear to Christ, the epilogue of this book, the literal last thing that happens in this book, it ends with her blowing him. Like in the middle, like in the act of blowing him. That's how the book ends. I've never read that before. So it's a little hilarious. You know, I guess, I don't know if that's how these kinds of romances go, because I never really read these kinds of dark romances. So hey, maybe that's normal. I just thought it was weird because they were on a little vacation together, and it just ends with the only blowjob in the book. Her briefly going down on him, and then it just ends penis in mouth. Baffling choice. But yeah, I didn't hate this book. It just didn't do much for me. I think people who like this kind of romance would enjoy it. So I can't necessarily say I super recommend it, but I don't not recommend it. If you want to read one of these books because you think it's fun, you should try it. I don't know what book I'm going to be picking next. I'm going to try for probably a shorter one because this one was 11 hours. 11 hours of nothing. So I will let you know with the next one I pick. God help me, I picked Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. You might not need to have an explanation as to what it is, but it's what it sounds like. It's girls hooking up with big alien guys, and that sounds fun. And it still could be, but I'm deeply put off that, okay, so it starts with the main girl, I think her name's Georgie, kidnapped by aliens. They're in an alien ship, they're kidnapping these girls, and there's on-page rape in this fun little Ice Planet Barbarian book. What right does this book have to have rape in it? I'm not joking. I know my tone is silly. I'm deeply put off by it. I knew about that, and it made me DNF it the first time. It's like 5 minutes into the audiobooks, and I DNF'd it there. I kept reading, and this time I'm only like 20 minutes in, maybe. But yeah, so the aliens, when the girls scream or put up a fuss, rape them, and that just shouldn't be in a book like this. There's no justification. This book has a silly premise, and when you have a silly premise, I don't think you should be putting stuff like that in it. If they were hitting them, that would be more acceptable, but I just feel like this was a step too far and immediately off-putting, and it put a bad taste in my mouth, and it made the tone awful. So I don't really know how much fun this is going to be with that starting it off. I'm hoping it can bounce back a little bit and at least be kind of entertaining. There's a bunch of these on here for free, so I'd probably keep going. Not in this, because I'm trying to do a bunch of different ones, but so far so bad. It was just hailing outside, so if it gets really loud, that's why. But I finished Ice Planet Barbarians book 1, and I also stopped book 2 in there, but I didn't do any clips because I wasn't going to do any clips for book 2 because that would be breaking the rules for this one, so we'll talk about it somewhere else. But surprisingly fun. I think it's weird to start off a series like that with a brutal on-page rape, but if you can just pretend that didn't happen, I think it's a fun little thing. It's just barbarian men who immediately love their women, and that's fun. And they're short enough that it doesn't overstay its welcome. I would recommend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Just literally ignore the rape. Just ignore that, and then it's just fun little barbarian stuff.
If the camera's shaking, that's because the cat's rubbing up on the table where my arms are resting.
One thing I'm going to point out that I think is a little bit silly about the book, though. So it's like they speak a different language. So there's language barriers, and yet they still say come. They still say both C words for male and female anatomy. I do not like that. They call the lady one the C word. I don't like that. I never have. I don't like it. And I think it's weird that they have those words. Also, one of them was using the F word as a verb. You shouldn't know that, alien man. But he does. But they're fun. I think they're fun. They're very short. There's like 12 of them. I'm going to continue with the series for as many as the library has. But yeah, so
Audible might have some.
That's how I got the first one. Audible has the first one for free. The other ones are credits. But
that's how I'm going to try Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Huh? What?
Dungeon Crawler Carl. You haven't heard of that?
No.
It's a really popular, what's it called? RPG fantasy.
Oh.
And it's like, there's, I think 7 books. Some of them are like 24 hours long. The first one's like 17 hours long or something. I don't remember, but I'm gonna get that with my next credit.
That was my issue with these going through and picking ones, is because I don't want to pick a romance that's like 14 hours long. I picked one called Not My Mate, not spelled with a K. So that's gonna be fun. I don't know if it's gonna be. I'm gonna keep doing this because I'm having a good time.
So this is part 1.
This is part 1. The issue being,
you should just do an Ice Planet Barbarian in every single one.
Oh, I guess I could. Okay, so the issue being, because I'm doing 3 books for this one. So the first one, I don't recommend, only because it was like kind of boring. The second one I do recommend because it's fun. And the third one, which I have started, called Tempt Me. I don't know the name of the author. I apologize. It's just fine. And I think that's the problem I'm going to run into, is that these are going to be just fine. They're perfectly consumable, but I have nothing to say about it is the problem. I'm halfway through and I have nothing to say about it. I'll try and do a clip later where I come up with something to say, but it's really basic. There's a girl, she got her heart broken by her fiance. They grew up together, they knew each other their whole lives, virgins, engaged, and he has to sow his wild oats, and he cheated on her, and she's like, well, if you wanted to have sex, you could have just told me and I would have done it. And he's like, no, it had to be with someone other than you. So now he's dating the other girl, and this girl's sad, so she ran away to go work in a hotel for a couple months, and the rogue,
yeah.
Owner of the hotel is the love interest, and he's a bit of a cad, and that's what it is, and it's exactly what you'd think it is. No surprises, nothing bad, nothing especially good. So that I had so much to say about the first book, and not a lot to say about the second one, and not a lot to say about the third one. So that's where we're at. I still have half the book left. It's fine. I wouldn't not recommend it necessarily, but I'm not going to be like, oh, you want to read a romance? Read Tempt Me. That's the issue I'm running into. But I'll check in with you in a bit with the rest of it. You know, I would love to go back to when I didn't have opinions about this book and I was semi-enjoying it, because I now am kind of mad. So it's Tempt Me it's K.A. Tucker. I feel like I've seen that name before. I didn't know for sure. They have a ton of books, whatever. I picked this up on a whim. It's available. So I picked it up. Can I frame this right? Okay. I'm almost done with the first book, and I was going to do a little clip to record my thoughts of like, oh, they finally slept together, and it's like near the end of the book. And I thought, oh, okay, cool. So maybe they won't have like a third act breakup or anything. There's like an hour and a half left of the book, and I was like looking at the page, and it said book 1 in the Wolf Hotel series, whatever. And I was like, oh, there's other books. I wonder if there's other characters. That's not what it is. It's, I think, a 5-book series, which is a lot for this. And every single one of them is this couple. And I saw that and I was like, uh-oh. And I looked at some reviews of book 2, and now I'm kind of like mad. It did something I super hate, and I feel like other romance readers wouldn't like this kind of thing either. So the main character, she's Abby. She's a naive farm girl, virgin, just kissing, not even under the clothes stuff, never been with anyone before. She gets with the billionaire guy. They sleep together, obviously. Book 2, she catches him chatting with someone. She assumes he cheated on her or is cheating on her. Without talking to him, she goes and has sex with someone. she cheats on him, having sex with some random guy, because she thought her boyfriend cheated on her. I read that and I was like, there's no way. Why would the author do that? That's a crazy, awful thing to do. It's really, 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 really rare to read a romance book where there's any kind of cheating between the two main characters. I feel like I can't even think of times I've come across it. I'm absolutely baffled. But yeah, so she cheats on him. She has sex with someone else. And I don't like that, because you did all this stuff to set up that she's a virgin. And so now she randomly sleeps with someone else when she's involved with him. I don't like it. And then she starts having like orgies according to the reviews. And I'm like infuriated because she sleeps with someone else. And then she finally talks to him and he's like, well, I didn't actually do this. And she's like, oh, okay. And he's like, but you slept with someone else. I don't want to be with you anymore. So apparently they're broken up for like the entire book and she's just sleeping with other people. They broke up and this girl who had never had sex before, never even so much as fooled around, just starts having sex with a ton of people in a romance book where she is the romantic love interest. And I hate that so much. I cannot describe accurately how much I hate that and how much that bothers me. I wanted to continue with the series because I thought it's fun enough and they're short and I can just see if they're at the library or something. I will not be reading anything past this. I don't even want to finish this one, honestly, but I'm going to, because I only have like 20 minutes left or something. But I am so like enraged. It feels like a betrayal. It's breaking the rules of romance. You're not supposed to do this. I don't know who likes it, whatever. I hate it. And now I'm angry finishing this book and I want it, like, part of me wants to review it 1 star to reflect how I feel, but that's not technically fair. I shouldn't review the first book poorly because future books do stupid stuff, but I don't know. What a terrible way to end this vlog. I only enjoyed 1 book, basically. I'm so bothered and disappointed. I don't know. What a baffling choice. I'll never read this author again because I can't trust her, because you're not supposed to do this. And if you like this kind of stuff, whatever, but I don't, and I'm mad. What a worthless waste of my time. I finished the book. I'm just like, I'm still really put off by the sequel stuff. The fact that she's a Christian virgin who goes from not being, like, she literally lost her virginity. She's at the end of this book, she's at the point where she's like embarrassed and really shy to like masturbate in front of the guy who she's sleeping with. And I'm supposed to believe this girl is having orgies 3 weeks from now. Okay. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Yeah, waste of time. I also didn't mention that the main love interest, Henry, has rape accusations against him in the book. They're false accusations, of course, but I super hate that. Because, you know, let's not perpetuate the idea that false accusations happen a ton. I really, really hate that. I think it's weird that they put it in this book. It makes me want to throw up. Also, I really hate it, but he keeps calling her junk a hole. He's like, you're whole. Like, stop. That's not sexy. I hate it. I hate it. And I'm mad that I read this. This feels like just a flop of a video, except for Ice Planet Barbarians, which ended up being the dark horse here. So, in conclusion, read Ice Planet Barbarians. Skip the first 10 minutes of the audiobook. Just skip to where they're on the planet. Don't read that first bit where it's got awful graphic rape in it. And don't read these other books. I'm never going to read from this author again. I'm so mad. I'm just so filled with anger. I don't know what to do with it. Sarah's going to hear so much in the morning. I feel so bad for her. Anyway, thank you for watching this vlog. Sorry about my rage. I'm hoping part 2 goes a little better. I want to maybe be more careful what I pick, but the point was a little bit that I just pick random ones for the most part, but I did know what Ice Planet Barbarians was. But I picked these other ones without reading the synopsises. And maybe I'll treat myself to synopses next time. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm enraged. I don't know if I'll ever not be angry again. Also, she lied to him about being on birth control. I need to add that. She lied to him. He wanted to do it without a condom because he didn't have one. And she's like, oh, it's fine, I'm on the pill. And she lied. And I think that's technically a form of sexual assault. So yeah, that happened in this. Our lead girl does a form of sexual assault in this book. And in the next book, she cheats on him. What are we doing?